What's up, y'all? It's KingBritneyChanel. You already know, and I'm back with today's video. So today I'm going to be discussing joy and ads and things that I feel like people missed, or at least I haven't heard people talk about these things. So definitely, before I get started, definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, hit that notification bell, and let's get into my commentary on this. Alright, good morning in my Tim voice. Nah, all jokes aside, y'all, this is real life. All jokes aside, the reason why I mentioned this whole situation between joy and ads again is because I think a lot of people missed what could have been going on, okay? And we've heard things from, Asri's perspective. That's what has been portrayed in the media. But a lot of people have not portrayed Joy's perspective. And a lot of y'all was saying that, it's three sides to every story. One person's side, the other person's side, and the truth. The truth in this situation, I feel, is that, like I've been saying, that Rob is responsible for why these young women are so jacked up emotionally, amongst other things, okay? But I'm going to give a perspective that is going to be mostly coming from what Joy could have been experiencing and in that moment that she was going through what she was going through, okay? Now, Asri, she goes there to the condo on the appointed day. She brings these guys with her, right? Or people that I guess were supposed to be, according to what people were saying, her dad's friends, people that she felt comfortable with, right? Also, Asri some time ago left the fold from Rob and Joy. So she left the fold. You leave the fold, you're no longer a part of the close connected group. And it's kind of like when you leave a work company, they be like turning your keys, turning the stuff, and they have to get all of the passwords and stuff back or whatever. So when we heard Asri's perspective, she's like, some woman named Kimberly, I'm not about to let her roam around where I dwell and all this other stuff. But on the flip side, right, because she's thinking that Kimberly is this stranger, but she also mentions that Kimberly is one of Kay's handlers, right? So that means that Kimberly would have been on the approved list. But those guys that were with Asri were not on his approved list of people he would want rummaging through his condo. Now, that's an important part because Joy kept yelling out that it was disrespectful. And in a way, if you think about it like this, right? Kay has been robbed numerous times, right? He's had break-ins where people that were close to him have broken into homes and things and taken things, right? So if you're looking at it from this perspective, I'm not saying that Asri is wrong. I'm not saying that Joy is right. I'm just saying that if you are thinking from that perspective, that you got these men in this dude's house, knowing that this dude has been, people have come in and taken things before from this guy, right? But mind you, dudes that he doesn't even know, because dudes, you have dudes around, they'll come in and lift some stuff. You feel me? Like, I don't know if too many people is going to invite a whole bunch of dudes that they don't know over to they place and expect something not to come up missing or whatever. Not to say that these gentlemen would have done that, but that could have been the mindset that Joy could have had. Like, you got these random dudes that's affiliated with your dad. Her dad, in the eyes of Kay, is the ops or opposition to what he's doing, or the team, because they call their team Team Truth, their team, you know, is opposition to K. You feel what I'm saying? So Joy in her mind, and I'm not saying that, you know, their thought process is necessarily the correct thought process, because K is responsible for this stuff he was out here doing, and he was responsible for this emotional reaction that Asri had, as well as the reaction that Joy had, because that to me was learned behavior from Joy, probably experiencing that amongst some other things. So Joy is looking at this whole situation like, you have disrespected the trust here, because you know, if he had them the whole time saying that the parents was such and such and such, they don't love you, they don't mean you no good, and they just want to put me away, and then you bring people that Joy doesn't know, right? Because the story was that Asri told was, oh, this person, I wasn't gonna have her running around and rummaging where I dwell. But on the flip side, Joy would have been able to say that as well, because you have all of these random dudes running through this dude condo, and the dude has been you know, people have lifted stuff before. Maybe that's why Joy was coming to get the Grammys and stuff. And also, I already told y'all what direction that I felt that they were going to start going with Asri, right? And the direction that they're unfortunately probably going to take is that this is a lover scorned, even though we all know the truth. This is a lover scorned. You know, the condo or whatever was in her name. That's according to the story. And she found out that K was a little bit more into, you know, they could position it like a little bit more into Joy, because that's why he had Joy getting his Grammys and, you know, making sure she didn't take anything, because they're no longer together, because she left, right? And that could have been the emotional response on why she started to call La Policia, even though we all seen, you know, the reasoning was that Joy, honey, went to blows with her and started acting bugged out. But I'm saying what these people are probably going to be out here and what the position is going to be, because let's be honest, y'all already know that the positioning is going to be, because she blurted what she blurted out. That's why you had his counsel, Steve, say, I already have a letter from her saying that it was nobody messing with nobody that was not at an age of consent. So it was no funny business going on. And I have that letter from her, and she turned in this letter voluntarily when K initially, you know, when he first went away, and probably in 2019, right? So they're already positioning this like this was some cat scuffle, some cat fight, and that's where the positioning is about to go. So it's a lot of people, they like, oh, they thinking that this is going to be a slam dunk, or that, you know, Asri is going to be able to offer new information. The only way that she's going to be able to offer new information is if she knows about other people that could have been, I would say, in the tweens age or somebody, because I don't feel like, you know, people were sitting there acting like the FED didn't have all this intelligence in the first place. Like, they be having mad information on people. Like, I don't feel like people are saying anything new. Like, we all knew that K was into those type of 3 people situations. Okay, they've known for some time now. So I don't think that was anything new offered to the FED. But I'm saying the only way she could offer some new information is if the person, I personally believe, is in a tween type of state. You feel me? Somebody that's not at an age that's acceptable according to society. Okay. They're gonna make it they're gonna try to make it very hard. And I'm telling you, from what Steve or what TMZ said that Steve was saying, they're already on his end trying to position that like this is a lover's quarrel. That's why, you know, she was upset. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna try to do. She was upset that she left and that Kay no longer trusts her as a girlfriend. That's why he had Joy coming in to get those Grammys. when Joy was requesting those Grammys and telling her how she was disrespectful about these random men being in his condo, and Azri knew that Kay had issues with security before, and this is why Joy said that it was disrespectful that she had these random men, and she was, you know, telling she wanted the Grammys. Azri was upset that she was not able to take those Grammys, and that she was finally realizing that due to her leaving, that Kay doesn't necessarily trust her anymore. And that's when it became that, you know, Robbie lied to y'all. That's when it became that. Now, these are not my personal feelings, but I'm telling you what defense counsels is going to say. I'm telling y'all from the perspective of what they're going to come up with, because y'all know that's the angle that they take all the time. They gonna it's like y'all gotta make sure that y'all pray and y'all support Azri very heavy, because y'all know that them defense people, they will try to tear down that character. They gonna flip under every stone, every rock, every relationship you've ever had, every social media post where you kind of looking a little whatever, they coming for it. So I'm telling y'all how they about to do that, because you already seen Steve say, I got a letter at my office. Well, that was according to what TMZ said, that when they got a comment from Steve, that he had that letter at his office stating that that wasn't her position. So you already know when the whole Tri situation go down, because the floodgates is gonna open up, boo. All the truth is gonna be coming out. Everybody gonna be pointing the finger at this person, and that person. But I just want people to keep in mind that Kay is responsible for what he is responsible for. These women is going through a lot after years of manipulation and different things happening to them. Like, this dude been lying. So when we heard Azri saying that he been lying to y'all, I don't know if she was talking about his supporters, because we already, you know, the people that was on the side of not believing Kay, we already knew he was lying. I just gave y'all the timeline the other day of all the inconsistencies and lies he was telling. So I think that was her coming to the light of knowing that this man been lying to her the whole time. You feel me? So I just personally feel like that's the position that they getting ready to go with this, unfortunately. And unfortunately that's what it's going to look like. I already know how them conservatives they work. These is two melanated original women fighting over a man. That's how they gonna position it. It was a cat, and when I didn't even read the article before I said something about, you know, it being a tiff between two women over a rock star. Y'all know where they're gonna go with that. Y'all know in the direction in which they are trying to go with that. And it's like she was in love with Kay. She left to be with her family. Kay didn't necessarily trust her anymore, and Joy came to pick up, you know, his items to secure those things because he did not trust her. And she came and random men was in the condo, and that's why you see her on the thing saying it was disrespectful, and that's probably why she was yelling that type of stuff out, right? But also I found it real kind of like funny that you know, this morning on TMZ, they're saying that, you know, Azri is ready to flip on him, but fears legal fallout. And that was posted. And I feel like at this time, I think she needs to be very careful. I would say Azri, because these K supporters and people that really ride with that dude are very bizarre and bugged out. So I seen a post from her saying that she was leaving Chicago, so that's a beautiful thing. I don't think that she should go to Chicago unless that's just ultimately necessary, because certain things have been put out that, you know, oh, she's I mean, the rumors, or how he so-called claimed that she's been working, or she wants to work with FED. They could put her in a serious situation. So people need to be very careful with that, saying that people is working with different people, because this is this girl real life. You feel what I'm saying? She gotta walk the streets, and you know, this is a terrible situation. It's an unfortunate situation in which she's having to deal with as such a young person. I'm gonna say, like, you know, the girl, they say, is 22, so it's terrible. But unfortunately, there's people that's off in they brain where they just don't use their common sense. Okay, use your common sense. They don't use their common sense, and they believe Kay is this hero to them, and they don't want to believe the truth about what's going on. So she has to be very careful as far as it goes with security and stuff like that. Now, they're saying that sources close to her told TMZ she's come to the realization that Kay played mind games and manipulated her since she moved out of his condo and reconnected with her family. That's just what I just was saying. Like, he could feel like she was disloyal because she left that condo, and that's what caused the emotional response you've seen from her, because it's like, okay, I thought all this time I was his woman, and, you know, favorite, special, and that dude was like, you want to leave? I can't trust you. you got to move around, kind of. And it's unfortunate, but that's kind of how people that are users, how they operate. So, but I'm glad that her family is there for her, and there was a bunch of people that were supporting her on her social media page, because this is a time, honey, where just send her the prayers and support, y'all. So they go on to say they're told she now wants to help I'm gonna say La Policia with them looking into him. And I don't feel like people should be saying this type of stuff. Even if she is doing that, I don't think that they should be saying it like that, because you know that labeling somebody in the community in a way that could get the community to look at her as a snitch is not cool. So I don't think that that's cool. And I just don't see somebody close to her saying that. You feel what I'm saying? Who close to her would put her in such a place that is kind of not safe? You feel me? Like, who would be running their mouth to that extreme where they would be putting her in that type of position? Okay, so I mean, that's just a question that I have. And so they say that, you know, they're now told that she wants to help La Policia into looking into Kay, but she has a huge hang up. She's scared. Because she's lied to FED people several times in the past. But first of all, I don't think the FED is talking to these people. I don't think that they're talking to people regarding things that they've looked into or whatever. And even if she did not necessarily tell, you know, believing this, if we want to believe this, even if she didn't necessarily tell them the truth, they have psychologists that know that people who are manipulated by somebody else are not necessarily going to be in their right state of mind. So they can make arrangements for individuals that have gone through stuff like that. But once again, I don't think anybody in her family would have went and told these people that, because who's really close to her right now but her family? You feel what I'm saying? So who would have went and told this blog that? That's very interesting. Like, I think her family need to find out who is running their mouth to these people like this. This is crazy. Because who's the source that's close? Who is the source that's close to Azri that's going to tell somebody some mess like this that will mess with her security and her safety? Who's telling these folks that? So also it says that their sources say she fears that she could be in big trouble if she changes her story and tells the FED what has really gone down with her, Joy, and Kay. And then they also said that they're told that she also signed a NDA, and she's scared of the repercussions if she was to say something about that now. So they say that they're told that Azri is adamant she's telling the truth about Joy and that situation with her. Here's my thing with that, because a lot of people was like, oh, you know, in the Shy and in ATL, the age, I think, that they say of consent is 7. No, not the Shy, and I think in Florida, they say the age is 17. In ATL is 16, right? So she been yelling out, "Oh, I was 17," right? If you was in the Shy, or if you was in Florida, or wherever you was at, the age is 17. So I don't think that Joy, because at the time Joy would have had to be 19, because now Asri is 22 and Joy is 24. So that's not a big, you know, age gap in between that. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all, they're gonna try to flip that. Like, you got in a relationship with somebody and now you got buyer's remorse about it. I'm telling you, I know how these people operate and what they're gonna try. And honey, as sure as I was saying it, Steve came out talking about that paperwork he had at that office, according to TMZ. So y'all know how that goes, how they try to make these women look after the fact. Like, they gonna be like, you know, lovers scorned. You know, the relationship ain't turned out like the same way she was up there. Like, the music situation ain't turned out how my parents thought it was gonna turn out. That's it. They gonna flip that to, the relationship didn't work out how you wanted to work out. And you already seen how Steve, the quote that they had from him, chalked it up to, she trying to get social media followers. And they gonna flip that to, oh, she might be trying to get a reality and all kind of stuff that you know these people is gonna do. You already know the streets is talking, and you already know the type of things that is being said. But they go on to say, oh, now why they up here talking about they broke this story? Girl, bye. Asri broke her own story. And I think that that's what needs to happen. I think so. In order for Asri and her dad to control her narrative, they need to start being the ones that tell their own story. Because when stuff gets to the blogs, people gonna finesse and make stuff the way they're gonna try to make it seem, so that they can kind of sell the best story that they want to sell. So if she want to keep control of her narrative and her story, I think that she gonna have to be doing her own, like, you know, press reveals or whatever. Like, she gonna have to start setting up her own stuff, and Angelo is gonna have to help her start setting up her own stuff so that she could talk for herself. You feel me? Because honestly, who is these sources that's telling these people this girl business like this? And it's looking real shifty, if you ask me. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's looking shifty. Like, who would tell, you know, TMZ some mess like this, and put that girl, you know, in a situation? Because we all know how bugged out these K supporters are. Like, we ain't even talking about the ones that's the basic, you know, individuals where, you know, they might talk they trash or whatever and then go about their business. But some of these people are bugged out. Yo, speaking of bugged out, it was a K supporter, yo. Like, me and my assistant, we was going through the spam folder or whatever, clearing out the spam folder for the new year on YouTube, yo. People be wild out. I was laughing at all these comments. Dude was like, a K supporter was like, oh, you better keep K name out your mouth and all this other stuff. I was like, I started laughing for a good 15 to 20 minutes laughing. Oh my God, it was so funny because it was like, yo, move around, son. We're going to keep talking about this dude and his lies and consistencies, and we're going to keep putting it on beam. We ain't stopped yet, can't stop, won't stop. Type energy, that part. But it was like, yo, like, these people is wild out. Like, they think they're gonna tell people that they can't talk about K or whatever. Move around. Like, if Robbie lied to y'all, we gonna talk about it. Like, and then up there acting like they really riding for this dude enough to come and talk to me, and you ain't even put $1 on that man's storage. Like, that man was reduced to straight cardboard boxes, and you got folks talking about that's they mans, and Robbie is this and all the rest of that stuff. But they didn't put no money on that dude to put that stuff in storage. Why was them people waiting to the last appointed day to put that stuff in, get that stuff up out that condo? That man was reduced to straight cardboard boxes, and they running around talking about king of whatever. Like, listen, don't come stepping to me about this dude, yo. It is what it is. If he make the news, we gonna talk about it. It is what it is. You ain't gonna come press nobody, and we gonna keep talking about K over here until this try situation go down, the gathering go down. Like, I mean, people who they think they dealing with. I started rolling. Understand? Like, it was just straight clown energy. The person that the little supporters in person that came, oh, you talking about K, and we still gonna talk. What? I said what I said. Dude be lying. His own ex girl said Robbie lied to y'all. So move around with that. I started cracking up laughing. Folks talk about that stay peoples, they mans, and ain't putting their $1 on that man for him to get a storage to take them Grammys too. Come on, ain't nobody drop a bag to help that man out on his situation? Had stuff in cardboard boxes. Why that stuff wasn't emptied out that crib, yo? But I started laughing about that. I be laughing also, like, cause you know, people be talking about, like, why do I do certain stuff on my channel a certain way, and they be trying to come and tell me about other oh, they do it this way on this. I don't care about how no other YouTube blogger do what they do on their channel. I'm a businesswoman, and I'm a very successful businesswoman. I don't care about nobody else numbers, about what you feel like they do, because at the end of the day, I know how YouTube works. You could have mad numbers, you could have mad subscribers, and not be making no dinero. So with that being said, this is a business, and if you don't know how to do things the right way, you're not going to be able to do business properly on YouTube, because the only thing YouTube care about is that you putting out marketable content and that you doing it the correct way according to the way they want you to do it. So if you're not doing that, then don't try to come to my page and tell me how I'm gonna navigate my page and how I'm gonna run this page. You need to go to your own page and run your page how you want to run your page. To, you know, to anybody concerned about the way I do stuff on my page. You know, these K supporters and people that be talking crazy. So what do y'all think? You know, getting back to it, what do y'all think about this situation with Azri and Joy from this particular perspective? Do y'all think that's what could have happened? That K no longer trusts Azri because she left the fold. That was an emotional situation for her, because I really feel like Azri loved that dude, yo. I really feel like she really cared about him, and I feel like she really loves him. And according to, you know, the way her family say her personality is, they say that she the type of person that she love a person and she love hard. So that could have been like an emotional response, like, you know, I done left and now he don't trust me, because she was like, here, give her these Grammys before I break this. So the way it was portrayed was, oh, Kim was running around and I didn't know who that was where I dwell, and he in her mind, he could have sent Joy to secure all of the stuff to make sure that Azri wasn't leaving with any unauthorized items. So that's what I personally believe. That's why that response was like that. It was an emotional response, and why she started, you know, saying this in and started scoffing. Like, after all of that, I done put this place in my name. You know, you've told me this, that, and the third, and then you sitting there she's sitting there getting wild with me about these Grammys. Because if she was a girlfriend, why, you know, if Az was a girlfriend, why wouldn't she be securing his possessions, like, you know, Grammys and different stuff as well? I think it's because he no longer trusts her anymore, because she left. She back with that, back with her family, and she view, he views the families as opposition to what is going on with him. Like, if you think about it from a common sense perspective, he's awaiting the FED try situation. He's awaiting that huge gathering that's getting ready to happen. He cannot afford for no things to be going left. So you got your your dad's people, or these random guys that he don't know with you, and that's definitely going to put up some trust issues, or have people responding if they on the opposite side in the way that they responded. Now, Joy was all the way wrong for but once again, I think Joy is dealing with some entities that was introduced due to manipulation and other things that was going on in that situation, because that was all the way off. But the part about her saying, oh, this is disrespectful, that could come from the fact that we already know previously, like I said, that Kay had dealt with some break-ins excuse me, and people had took stuff from him before when they was rummaging through his home and all of that. So Az on her side is saying, oh, I didn't want this person who I didn't know. But on the flip side, as Ree was viewed as opposition at that point. So they didn't want you and nobody that you had with you rummaging through. You feel me? That's why they had that perspective like that. Because she was talking about Kim and not knowing Kim. But whoever that Kimberly person was approved by Kay. Them dudes that she had with her was not. So it was, this is a whole new perspective. I want to hear y'all thoughts on this. Do y'all feel like now it's a little bit more clarity? Or do y'all feel like this could be a possibility? Do y'all feel like, nah, that's a reach? Leave your thoughts and comments about that down below and in the chat section. Please, in my chat section, please. You have got to keep your comments, cool. Because I don't want nobody getting put up off YouTube and the rest of that other stuff. Like, I'm talking about people that comment and stuff like that. Because if you comment certain stuff, if you use way too many emojis in a spammy type of way, they could put you up off of here. Don't do it to yourself. You feel me? So, like, it was like I removed some comments yesterday, and I'm gonna have to see if I'm gonna be able to get the people back. But it was a person's comments, I think it was like 1 or 2 people's comments that I had to remove yesterday. And I don't know if it was because if Google already got to them, or YouTube already had got to them. Because I have a list of words that are blocked words that you cannot get through with those type of words. So I don't know if the people ended up using those type of words or what happened. But if you trying to type in the chat, if something could have happened with you, I don't know, because I had to remove whatever words, and the chat was acting real weird after I removed certain people's comments. So I don't know what happened with that. You cannot just be saying any old thing. Like, they are trying to make YouTube is the new media, okay? They are making YouTube, this is TV. You cannot, if you look at regular TV, they can't say certain stuff on there. So you cannot just say whatever comes to your mind in a weird type of I would say vulgar way. I'm gonna use that word. You cannot just get low with it in the chat. You can't do that. It has to be approvable. And if not, because it's a lot of my supporters where I went with my assistant and we looked in that spam folder, and it was a lot of people that support me. They comments made it to the spam folder because whatever words you use, there was a word, if you using, profane language and stuff like that, you're not gonna make it through. So if you want your comments to make it through, you have to make sure that your language is suitable for people. If they come across it, it's gonna be suitable, okay? You know, you can't just say any and every old thing. And I'm gonna just tell y'all the obvious stuff. If I'm not saying that type of stuff in the videos, then it's obvious stuff that is going to be blocked words that's never gonna come up in the chat. Okay, so keep that in mind. I want y'all to be blessed. This KingBritneyChanel. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all soon. Blessings to y'all. See y'all in the next video. Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.